One of the country's most popular cracker brands is issuing a voluntary recall tonight because of a mix-up with packaging. And honestly, it's a reminder of something most people don't want to think about. Crackers look light, simple, even healthy. You snack on them at work, crumble them into soup, or stack them with cheese and assume they're a safe choice. But here's the uncomfortable truth most food companies hope you never notice. Most popular cracker brands are closer to junk food than real food. If you're interested in this topic, hit the like button, subscribe, and type "interested" in the comments. And I will give you a heart. Behind the friendly boxes and health claims, a lot of them are loaded with refined flour, cheap oils, preservatives, and sodium. They're sold with words like whole grain, baked, or low fat to make you feel better. But once you flip the box and look at the ingredients, what you actually see is a long list of ultra-processed additives that have almost nothing to do with real, simple food. So in this video, we're going to break down 8 cracker brands you should avoid at all costs, the ones that look healthy but definitely aren't. And if you stay with me to the end, I'll show you 2 clean, crunchy alternatives that actually deserve a spot in your pantry and won't quietly sabotage your heart, your weight, or your energy. If you've ever grabbed a box of crackers without reading the label first, type "checking labels" in the comments so you remember from today forward to never trust the front of the box again. Let's start with a classic almost everyone has had in their pantry at some point: Ritz crackers. They are buttery, salty, and feel harmless because they've been around forever. But once you look past the nostalgia, the story changes fast. Ritz is built on refined white flour, palm oil, and sugar. For years, the recipe even included partially hydrogenated oils, a source of trans fats so harmful that the FDA eventually banned them from foods. Even though the formula has changed, the replacement isn't much better. Palm oil is cheap, heavily processed, and raises LDL cholesterol while pushing inflammation higher. The flour is another problem. Refined flour has no fiber, no nutrients, and digests so quickly it spikes your blood sugar, then drops you back into hunger an hour later. Add more than 180 milligrams of sodium per serving, and Ritz becomes the type of snack designed to keep your hand reaching into the box again and again. What makes this worse is the marketing. Ritz sells whole wheat and reduced fat versions, but they are not real improvements. The whole wheat version still uses refined flour as the base, and the reduced fat version just swaps some of the fat for more fillers and carbs. And remember the 2018 headline? Ritz crackers were part of a major recall linked to potential salmonella contamination in one of the ingredients, proof that mass-produced snacks often put shelf life above quality. The verdict is simple: Ritz crackers feel comforting, but they are junk food in disguise. Between the cheap oils, refined flour, and salt load, they do your body no favors. A crunchy bite isn't worth the long-term cost. If Ritz used to be one of your go-to snacks, type "Ritz trap" so you remember to leave that golden box on the shelf next time. Wheat thins are one of the sneakiest snacks in the entire cracker aisle. The name alone makes people feel safe. Wheat. Sounds whole grain. Sounds high fiber. Sounds smart. But once you look at the ingredients, the healthy image falls apart fast. The first ingredient is enriched flour, not whole wheat. That means the natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals have already been stripped away. What's left is a refined carb that hits your bloodstream fast, spikes your sugar, and leaves you hungry again shortly after. Then the list gets worse. Wheat thins include canola oil, sugar, and malt syrup. Yes, 2 different forms of sugar in a snack that's supposed to be savory. That sweetness isn't an accident. It's there to make the crackers more addictive. A single serving of 16 crackers packs around 200 milligrams of sodium, but most people eat 2 or 3 servings without thinking about it. That pushes your salt intake way up and sets you up for bloating, dehydration, and long-term blood pressure issues. So what you're getting is a processed, sugar-laced, sodium-heavy snack pretending to be healthy. The branding sells a fantasy. The ingredients tell the truth. Wheat thins might seem like a better choice than chips, but nutritionally, they're not much different. If you're trying to clean up your diet, this yellow box isn't the friend it pretends to be. If wheat thins ever fooled you into thinking they were healthy, type "no more wheat thins" in the comments. Cheez-Its are one of those snacks almost everyone has loved at some point. The bright red box, the salty crunch, that sharp cheesy flavor, it's addictive. But that addictive taste comes with a price that most people never think about. The first ingredient is enriched flour, which is just refined white flour stripped of natural nutrients. It digests fast, spikes your blood sugar, and leaves you wanting more. Not exactly quality fuel. Then comes the oil blend: soybean, canola, and palm oils. These oils are cheap, heavily processed, and easily oxidized, which means they can push inflammation higher and strain your heart over time. And the cheese? It's not the real, simple cheese you're imagining. The flavor comes from cheese powder, artificial flavors, colorings like annatto, and preservatives to keep everything tasting the same for months on a shelf. Sodium is another major issue. One serving, about 27 crackers, has over 230 milligrams of sodium. And let's be honest, nobody stops at one serving. Once you start, it's easy to eat double or triple that amount without noticing. Even the whole grain or reduced fat versions don't fix the problem. They still rely on refined flour, processed oils, and additives. They just change the proportions enough to sound healthier on the box. Here's the truth: Cheez-Its hit your cravings, not your nutrition. They are built from refined carbs, industrial oils, and salt. Delicious? Yes. Good for your body? Not even close. If Cheez-Its used to be a regular snack for you, type cheese trap so you remember what you're really eating next time you see that glowing red box. Townhouse crackers are one of the biggest optical illusions in the snack aisle. Everything about them is designed to look upscale. The packaging feels polished. The crackers themselves look golden, buttery, and soft around the edges, almost gourmet compared to the basic saltine or buttery round. You see them on cheese boards, holiday platters, and party spreads, and it sends a clear message: these must be higher quality. But once you look past the glossy presentation, the ingredients reveal a very different reality. The base of every Townhouse cracker is enriched white flour, which sounds fine until you remember what enriched actually means. It means the natural grain has been heavily processed, stripped of its fiber, stripped of its nutrients, and then sprayed with a few synthetic vitamins to make up for what was lost. By the time this flour reaches your plate, your body treats it almost exactly like sugar. Fast digestion, a quick spike in blood glucose, and a drop that leaves you hungrier than before. Then comes the oil blend. Townhouse crackers rely on palm oil and soybean oil, two of the most refined, industrial oils used in packaged foods. These oils are inexpensive for manufacturers but costly for your body in the long run. They promote inflammation, affect cholesterol, and add unnecessary stress to your heart and metabolism. Palm oil also carries a major environmental cost. Large-scale palm plantations are tied to deforestation, habitat destruction, and long-term ecological damage. So choosing these crackers isn't just rough on your health, it quietly impacts the planet too. Now let's talk about the flavor. That rich, buttery taste that makes Townhouse crackers so addictive? It's not real butter. There's no slow-churn cream or dairy richness in the recipe. The flavor comes from artificial flavorings that mimic butter without using the real thing. It's designed to taste luxurious without costing Kellogg's anything close to real butter. And once you look at the rest of the ingredient list, the illusion becomes even clearer. Townhouse crackers include corn syrup solids, malt syrup, preservatives, added salt. These ingredients don't nourish your body, they manipulate your taste buds. The salty sweet buttery formula is engineered to keep you reaching back into the box again and again. And since a serving is only 5 crackers, most people eat 2, 3, or even 4 servings in a single sitting without realizing it. Kellogg's markets Townhouse as the perfect cracker for entertaining. And visually, it fits the role. But nutritionally, it's no different from any processed snack loaded with refined flour, cheap oils, artificial flavorings, and added sugars. In short, Townhouse crackers are a processed snack wearing fancy clothing. They look elevated, but the formula underneath is as basic and unhealthy as any budget brand cracker. If you've ever been fooled by the premium appearance, type butter illusion so you never let branding trick you again. Premium saltines look innocent, light, plain. The kind of cracker you reach for when your stomach feels unsettled, when you want something simple with soup, or when you just need a neutral-tasting snack that won't upset anything. For decades, saltines have been sold as the clean, simple, and safe cracker, almost medicinal in how plain they seem. But once you look past the nostalgic packaging, the ingredients tell a story most people never stop to think about. Saltines are made from refined white flour, a base with almost no nutritional value. That means no natural fiber to support digestion, No vitamins, no minerals, just fast-burning starch that your body quickly converts into sugar. This leads to the kind of blood sugar spike that leaves you hungrier shortly afterward, even though you just ate. Then there are the oils, and this is where things get more concerning. Many saltine formulas still use hydrogenated oils or ingredients within the same category. These fats have been linked for years to inflammation, increased LDL cholesterol, and long-term heart problems. Even tiny amounts can quietly work against your health, especially if you snack on these crackers regularly. And despite tasting mild, the sodium content is anything but mild. Saltines are deceptively easy to overeat because they are thin, crisp, and don't feel heavy. You can grab a few, then a few more, then suddenly you've eaten 2 or 3 servings without noticing. That's when the sodium becomes a problem. It adds up fast, pushing you past your daily limit and contributing to bloating, dehydration, and long-term blood pressure issues. Nabisco has also been criticized over the years for using GMOs, synthetic preservatives, and other additives to keep these crackers shelf-stable for months. So much for being a simple food. What seems like a clean pantry staple is actually designed more for cheap mass production than for your health. Even choosing the unsalted tops version doesn't fix anything. It removes the sprinkle of salt on the surface but keeps the exact same refined flour, the same oils, and the same process structure underneath. It's a cosmetic change, not a nutritional solution. Saltines might feel nostalgic, comforting, even medicinal. But nutritionally, they do almost nothing for you. They soothe your mouth, not your body. And when you look at them through that lens, the innocence fades quickly. If saltines used to be your idea of a simple, safe snack, type no more saltines so you remember what's really inside the box. Chicken in a biscuit is one of those snacks people grew up with, the kind of box you tossed into the cart for a road trip, packed in school lunches, or opened during movie nights because the smell alone felt comforting. It's one of the most nostalgia-fueled crackers ever sold. But here's the part almost nobody knew growing up. There is absolutely no real chicken in these crackers. Not even a trace. What your brain interprets as roast chicken flavor is actually a combination of artificial flavoring, MSG, and hydrolyzed soy protein, a processed ingredient that boosts savory taste by stimulating your taste buds. These ingredients work together to mimic the feeling of eating something rich and savory, even though the flavor is engineered, not natural. Then there's the sodium problem. One serving, just 12 crackers, contains over 230 milligrams of sodium. But nobody eats 12 crackers. The texture is thin, salty, and addictive, which means most people go through multiple servings in a matter of minutes. Before you know it, half the box is gone, and you've hit half your daily sodium limit without even realizing it. That's a serious hit to your blood pressure, kidneys, and overall heart health. And the flavor enhancers aren't harmless either. Chicken in a biscuit has been flagged in multiple consumer health reports because of the same artificial ingredients that give it that signature taste. While MSG is considered safe for most people, large amounts can trigger headaches, fatigue, flushing, and digestive issues in sensitive individuals. And this product delivers that savory kick in concentrated doses. It's gotten so concerning that several school districts across the US have banned chicken in a biscuit from being sold in cafeterias, not because of allergies or choking hazards, but because the sodium load and artificial ingredients were judged inappropriate for children's daily diets. Then comes the preservatives. One of the key ones is TBHQ, a chemical used to stabilize fats and extend shelf life. TBHQ also appears in industrial products like biodiesel, varnish, and lubricants. While the food-grade amount is small, the concern comes from the combination: refined flour, artificial flavors, MSG, preservatives, and sodium all interacting in a body that's already fighting daily inflammation from other processed foods. So yes, chicken in a biscuit brings back warm childhood memories. But nostalgia doesn't change the facts. What looks like a fun blue box is actually a cocktail of salt, chemical flavoring, and empty calories, all wrapped up in a snack your body has to work extra hard to process. If this one shocked you, and it shocks most people, type chicken WHO, so you never forget what's actually hiding behind that familiar blue box. Triscuit Thin Crisps carry a reputation that almost sells itself. They are marketed as one of the healthier crackers in the aisle. The whole grain labeling looks reassuring. The crisp texture feels lighter than other snacks. And because they are not shiny with oil or coated in flavor dust, people automatically assume they are clean, simple, and safe. But the truth is, the Thin Crisps version quietly steps away from the original simplicity Triscuit built its brand on. Yes, the base ingredient is whole grain wheat, and that's a good start. Whole grains give you fiber, steadier energy, and better digestion. But that's where the benefits end, because everything added after that begins to chip away at the healthy image. Thin Crisps include vegetable oils, and depending on the flavor, some varieties have used partially hydrogenated oils in the past. These oils are some of the worst fats for inflammation, cholesterol, and long-term heart health. They're cheap for manufacturers but costly for your body. Then come the extras most shoppers never expect: added sugar, salt, and preservatives. Sugar in a whole grain cracker makes no sense nutritionally. It's there to enhance flavor and encourage overeating. Salt is used not just for taste but also to keep you reaching back into the box. And preservatives extend shelf life while doing absolutely nothing good for your metabolism. The sodium, in particular, is where many people get blindsided. A single serving might look reasonable on paper, but the light, thin, crispy texture makes portion control almost impossible. You can easily eat 2, 3, even 4 servings without realizing you've blown past your sodium limit and taken in far more processed oils than your body needs. And that's the quiet problem. It's not one serving that harms you, it's the habit. Consistent exposure to artificial additives, processed oils, and elevated sodium slowly wears down your metabolism, increases inflammation, and affects how your body handles blood pressure and digestion over time. Meanwhile, the branding leans hard into simple, wholesome, and made with whole wheat. And while that's partially true, it doesn't reflect the full reality of what's inside the bag. The original Triscuit recipe, just wheat, oil, and salt, had a level of honesty these Thin Crisps drift away from. So no, Triscuit Thin Crisps aren't the worst cracker on the shelf. But they're definitely not the clean, nutrient-forward snack many people assume they are. They sit uncomfortably in the middle, healthier-looking packaging wrapped around ingredients that don't live up to the promise. If you ever reached for Thin Crisps thinking they were the safe option, type thin but not healthy so you remember what's really hiding behind that wholesome branding. Carr's table water crackers are often seen as the classy choice. Light. Simple. Clean-looking. The type of cracker you pair with cheese spreads, smoked salmon, or dips when you're trying to keep things refined. But that delicate, minimalist appearance hides some real nutritional problems. The main ingredient is refined wheat flour, which has been stripped of its natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Once you eat it, your body treats it just like sugar: quick digestion, a blood sugar spike, and a crash that leaves you hungry again. Even though these crackers taste light, they behave more like a fast-burning carb in the body. Carr's also uses vegetable oils, which are often highly processed and can include partially hydrogenated oils, the kind linked to inflammation and long-term cardiovascular strain. Even if the amounts are small, eating them consistently adds up. They also contain added salt, and while a single serving might seem harmless, almost nobody stops at one serving. These crackers are thin, crisp, and easy to eat by the handful. That means multiple servings in one sitting, multiple servings of refined flour, oils, and sodium. And like many shelf-stable crackers, they contain preservatives that help them stay crisp for months. These additives don't offer any benefit to your health, they simply keep the product market ready. The truth is simple: Carr's look elegant, but they behave like any other refined, processed cracker once they hit your system. They are marketed as a sophisticated light snack, but they can still contribute to blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and cardiovascular stress when eaten regularly. If Carr's ever fooled you with its clean, refined image, type "no more Carr's" so you remember what's really behind that simple white box. After all the overly processed options we just covered, let's talk about a cracker that actually earns its healthy reputation: Mary's Gone Crackers, Original. These crackers are built completely differently from the mainstream brands. Instead of refined flour and cheap oils, they start with whole, nutrient-rich ingredients like brown rice, quinoa, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds. Right away, that means more fiber, more protein, and more healthy fats than anything you'll find in a standard cracker box. The high fiber content helps regulate digestion, keeps you full longer, and prevents those blood sugar spikes that come with refined flour snacks. And because they are made from whole foods, your body actually gets something back: energy that lasts, not a quick rush followed by a crash. They are also gluten-free, non-GMO, and made without artificial preservatives or flavorings. And unlike many crackers, they are baked, not fried, which keeps harmful fats and oxidized oils off the ingredient list. The flavor is rich and earthy thanks to the seeds, and the crunch is satisfying without feeling greasy or heavy. They pair well with hummus, avocado, cheese, nut butters, or even just eaten plain. Seeds like flax provide omega-3 fatty acids, an important nutrient for heart and brain health. Sunflower and sesame seeds bring vitamin E, magnesium, and antioxidants that support your metabolism and immune system. Mary's Gone Crackers isn't just a better cracker. It's a completely different approach, snacking that actually gives your body something useful, instead of empty calories and inflammation. If this sounds like the upgrade you've been needing, type Mary's so you remember the first truly clean cracker worth keeping in your pantry. If you want a cracker that actually feeds your body instead of draining it, Simple Mills almond flour crackers are one of the best choices you can make. They're everything most crackers aren't: nutrient-dense, clean, and made from ingredients you can recognize without a chemistry degree. These crackers use a base of almond flour, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, non-GMO ingredients. This gives them a completely different nutrition profile from traditional crackers. Almond flour provides healthy monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in foods that support heart health. It also adds protein and naturally stabilizes blood sugar, helping you avoid the spikes and crashes caused by refined flour. The added seeds bring fiber, magnesium, vitamin E, and antioxidants, nutrients that support your heart, brain, skin, and metabolism. These aren't empty calories. Every bite gives your body something real. Simple Mills crackers are also gluten-free, grain-free, paleo-friendly, free of artificial preservatives, flavors, and colors. So instead of eating chemical additives and cheap oils, you're getting clean fuel that works for almost any dietary preference. The flavor is lightly nutty, and the crunch is crisp without being heavy. They pair perfectly with cheese, hummus, tuna salad, guacamole, or even eaten on their own as a quick, satisfying snack. And unlike most crackers, these actually keep you full. The protein, healthy fats, and fiber work together to slow digestion and deliver steady energy instead of a quick burn. If you want a cracker that tastes good and treats your body well, Simple Mills is one of the easiest upgrades you can make. If you're ready to replace processed crackers with something clean and nutrient-rich, type Simple Mills in the comments. So now you've seen the truth behind the most popular cracker brands, and why so many of them look harmless but act like junk food once they hit your body. Refined flour, cheap oils, artificial flavors, preservatives, and way too much sodium all add up over time. And most people never even realize it because crackers are marketed as light, simple, and healthy. But here's the good news: you're not stuck with those options. By swapping out the highly processed brands for choices like Mary's Gone Crackers and Simple Mills almond flour crackers, you're giving your body real ingredients, whole grains, seeds, healthy fats, and nutrients that support your heart, digestion, brain function, and energy levels. These small changes matter. A healthier cracker today means better blood sugar control tomorrow. Less inflammation next week. Better long-term heart health next year. And it all starts with the choices you make at the store. Snacking should be something you enjoy, not something that quietly works against you. And now you have the information to choose better. If this breakdown helped you understand what's really inside your favorite snacks, type healthy snacks in the comments to lock in the habit of reading labels before grabbing anything off the shelf. And stay close, because we have more videos coming that uncover the everyday foods you think are healthy, and the clean, smart alternatives that actually are.